Imagine a country stepping into the future with bold ambition, redefining what is possible, rewriting its industrial DNA, and saying, "We will no longer wait for technology, we will invent it." That's exactly what Turkey is doing. On March 26, 2025, President Erdogan unveiled the country's new 2030 industry and technology strategy, a roadmap not just for growth but for independence, technological independence. Today, we'll explore what this strategy is, why it matters, and what it could mean for Turkey, for the regional balance, and for global high-tech leadership. Buckle up. In his announcement, President Erdogan stated, "With these initiatives, we are taking a historic step toward technological independence." That phrase, technological independence, is the key. For decades, many nations have relied on imported chips, foreign-manufactured defense systems, external supply chains, and external know-how. Turkey's message now is, no more. The strategy isn't just about improving what Turkey already does, it's about leapfrogging into the frontier: quantum computing, modular nuclear reactors, a domestic chip-making industry, biotechnology, aerospace. Why now? Because the global environment is shifting. Supply chains disrupted, export controls tightening, geopolitics interfering with technology access. For Turkey, which sits at a strategic crossroads between Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, the logic is clear: be the maker, not just the buyer. Let's break down some of the main pillars of the strategy that were highlighted. Aerospace and defense. Turkey plans to establish a space technopark designed to foster aerospace technology, satellite development, and deep space research. In defense, one of the big moves is the rollout of the national combat aircraft named Khan, which is expected to enter mass production, and taking integration further, the new air defense network called Steel Dome, Selçuk, integrating all air defense systems in a unified network. These are significant because they position Turkey not merely as a buyer of foreign systems, but as a producer and integrator with a domestic ecosystem of design, manufacturing, and deployment. Semiconductors and high-tech chips. Perhaps one of the boldest claims, chip production will be carried out entirely domestically. All stages of semiconductor manufacturing in Turkey. In an age where chips are the heartbeat of everything, from consumer electronics to defense to vehicles. This commitment signals Turkey's desire to control a core piece of the high-tech stack. Biotechnology and healthcare. The strategy includes a biotechnology production program to boost domestic drug production, strengthen biotech research infrastructure, and use public procurement strategically to support local firms. This is especially timely. The global pandemic showed how fragile health supply chains can be. With this move, Turkey signals it will build its own resilience. Artificial intelligence and quantum. Turkey will establish a national quantum institute to build human resources and research capacity in quantum technologies. In parallel, an AI supercomputer investment program is set up to drive machine learning, automation, data science capabilities. These areas aren't just nice to have, they're foundational for future competitiveness. Encryption, processing power, autonomous systems. Energy and nuclear. The creation of a nuclear technopark and the development of modular nuclear reactors aim to give Turkey an independent and sustainable energy source, reducing reliance on foreign fossil fuels. Energy independence and high-tech production often go hand in hand. Access to affordable, reliable power is vital for any advanced manufacturing ecosystem. Mega-industrial parks. To support the strategy, Turkey will build mega-industrial parks with advanced infrastructure, strong logistics, and an environment conducive to innovation and production. These industrial zones are not just factories, they're integrated ecosystems of social, environmental, and technological infrastructure. Talent and reverse brain drain. A particularly human element. Turkey is launching a reverse brain drain program, encouraging Turkish scientists and researchers abroad to come back and continue their work in the country. Because technology isn't just about machines, it's about people, and building human capital is crucial. This strategy is not just important for Turkey, it has broader implications. For Turkey's economy, by positioning itself in higher value sectors, chips, biotech, aerospace, Turkey aims to break out of being a mid-level manufacturing player and move up the value chain. That could mean more skilled jobs, more exports, less vulnerability to global swings, and more control over strategic inputs. For geopolitics, as Turkey builds its own defense and aerospace capabilities, it shifts from being purely a client state of large arms exporters to a more autonomous actor that changes its bargaining power and its role in regional security. Similarly, controlling semiconductors and other strategic technologies gives Turkey leverage in global supply chains. For global tech competition, if Turkey succeeds, it becomes another node in the global innovation map, not just consumption but creation. For tech giants and global competitors, that means new partnership possibilities and new competition in a world increasingly defined by tech sovereignty, the idea that countries must own/control their critical tech assets. Turkey's move is timely. Ambitions are grand, but execution is complex. What are the obstacles? Capital and investment. Developing semiconductors, quantum tech, biotech. These are capital-intensive, long-horizon fields. Sustaining investment over years, attracting global talent, building ecosystems will be demanding. Talent and ecosystem. Reverse brain drain is a strong idea, but it requires competitive environments, research freedom, infrastructure, incentives. If brain drain happened for a reason, those reasons must be addressed. Supply chain realities. Even if Turkey makes its own chips or defense systems, many components remain globalized. Integrating into global supply chains while forging independence is a careful balancing act. Global competition and tech blockades. Countries that lead today, US, China, EU, control key levers, patents, production capacity, export controls. Turkey will need to navigate these waters carefully. Time horizon and expectation management. 2030 is 5 years away. Changing a country's tech/industrial posture takes longer. Managing expectations both domestically, political, and internationally, investors, is critical. Whether you're a student of tech, a business professional, or simply curious about global shifts, this matters. If Turkey begins to produce semiconductors that could affect global chip markets, pricing, supply chains, advances in aerospace or defense from Turkey could shift regional security balances. A successful biotech industry in Turkey could mean different global hubs for drug research, manufacturing. For anyone tracking how countries strive for technological sovereignty, Turkey's move is an important case. Plus, on a human level, imagine a young engineer in Ankara designing the next Turkish-made fighter jet, or a PhD graduate returning from Silicon Valley to join Turkey's Quantum Institute. This is about more than politics. It's about changing trajectories of nations and people. What to watch for in the coming years. 2025 to 2026. The first wave of announcements, setting up the Space Technopark, launching the National Quantum Institute, starting mega-industrial parks. 2027 to 2029. Scaling production. First batches of domestically produced chips, biotech drugs manufactured locally, vehicles and smart cars coming off Turkish assembly lines. 2030. The target year, Turkey aims to be a global hub for technology, industry, and innovation. As Erdogan phrased it, we are taking firm steps toward a self-sufficient Turkey. This strategy will make Turkey a global hub for technology, industry, and innovation. In parallel, we'll see metrics. How much has chip production increased? How many new patents? How many high-tech exports? How many scientists returned? These indicators will tell us how far the strategy has traveled from paper to practice. So what's the takeaway? Turkey's 2030 industry and technology strategy is bold. It touches things many countries are trying to do: own their chips, build their defense tech, control their biotech, produce their energy. But what makes Turkey's plan stand out is the comprehensive scale and the positioning, not just improvement, but transformation. Whether Turkey hits all its marks remains to be seen. But what matters is that it's trying, and it's trying with a roadmap, not just rhetoric. For anyone interested in where the world is headed, in tech, industry, geopolitics, keeping an eye on Turkey is now more relevant than ever. And for you, the viewer, this isn't just national policy, it's a story of ambition, of innovation, of of changing fates. If you're intrigued by how tomorrow will be built, how nations will rise not by fossil fuel alone but by chips, satellites, biotech, then this is a chapter you'll want to follow. If you like this deep dive, hit like, subscribe if you haven't yet, share this with someone who cares about technology and global change. And stay tuned, I'll bring you updates on how this strategy unfolds, its wins, its misses, and what it means for the world. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.